All right, we've reached the top of the hour, so away we go. I did put a note in the chat. There is going to be likely some extra noise today. We've got movers on site. I'm in our rental property that we've got for the next 7-8 months while our house is being remodeled. And timing being what it is, they're here now. But we'll go ahead and get started. So this is an end of year one called The Unexpected Twist, a journey of flexibility. So welcome. It's good to be here with you today. Glad you've carved out the time for yourself. Let's begin as we always do by finding our way into a comfortable and supportive position in our chairs. And then go ahead and either gently close your eyes, or if you prefer, you can just lower your gaze. Let it rest softly on a spot on the floor a few feet in front of you, whatever makes you feel safe and enclosed in your own quiet space. And begin to settle in by putting some light focus on your breath. We spend so much of our days rushing about, tending to the lists and the should-dos, that we often forget to just stop and sit a spell. So thank you for showing up. We want to find a seat that feels comfortable, so take a moment to shift around if you need to. Allow your feet to rest flat on the floor, feeling the solid ground beneath you. There is something very reassuring about that connection. Knowing the earth is right there, holding you up, so you don't have to do all the work. Let your hands rest gently in your lap, on your thighs, or wherever they feel most at ease. Just sitting in a way that feels both relaxed and alert. We aren't trying to fall asleep, but we aren't standing at attention either. Your back can be supported by the chair, but see if you can allow your spine to grow tall, creating a sense of dignity in your posture. You might imagine a gentle string attached to the very top of your head, lifting you up just a fraction of an inch toward the sky. So take a few moments to simply arriving in this room, in this chair, in this present moment. Let go of the hurry and planning it took to get you here. You made it, you're here. And for the next little bit of time, there is nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. So let's move our full awareness to the breath. We aren't trying to force it or wrestle it into a specific rhythm, just notice it. Noticing how cool the air is as it enters the body, and how it leaves the body perhaps a little warmer and softer. Think of your breath like an old friend coming to visit. You don't need to fix it or change it, you just welcome it. In and out, simple as that. The breath is our anchor, always here for us to return to in the present moment. As you settle into this rhythm, let's talk a bit about plans. We humans love our plans, don't we? We love our calendars and our lists. Think back to the beginning of a year, maybe this past January or any January. We buy those fresh, crisp calendars. We look at the blank squares and we imagine exactly how the days are going to fill up. We write down birthdays, vacations, and goals. We have a picture in our heads of how the road is going to look, straight, smooth, and paved. But life has a funny way of ignoring our calendars. Life is a bit more like a country road than a highway. It has bumps, it has fog. And sometimes It has a sharp turn that wasn't on the map at all. We often think that if things don't go exactly to plan, we failed, or that something has gone wrong. But the seasons teach us differently. The tree doesn't plan exactly when the leaf will fall. It just allows the process. The river doesn't panic when it hits a rock. It flows around it. So today, let's explore that unexpected twist, that moment when the road curved and you didn't see it coming. And instead of focusing on the shock of it, let's look instead at how you stayed in the saddle, how you kept going. Keep breathing nice and steady. If your mind wanders off to your grocery list or a conversation you had yesterday, well, that's okay. Your mind will likely wander. That's perfectly natural. In fact, that's just what minds do. But when you notice, just gently shepherd your attention back to the breath, back to the feeling of sitting here safe and sound. I invite you to bring an image to your mind's eye. Imagine you are sitting in a sturdy, comfortable little boat. You are floating comfortably, gently down a wide, calm river. The sun is warm on your face, and the water is a beautiful, clear blue. It's a perfect day. You have a paddle in your hand, but you hardly need to use it. The current is taking you exactly where you think you want to go. Visualize the banks of the river passing by. Maybe there are tall trees waving in the breeze. Maybe there are wildflowers. You feel relaxed. You feel in control. This is the plan. This is January. Everything is moving in a straight line. But as you float further downstream, notice that the river begins to change. The water picks up a little speed. The banks start to curve. Ahead of you, the river takes a sharp turn to the left, disappearing behind a grove of trees, and you can't see what's around the bend. Feel that moment of uncertainty. The map said straight, but the river says turn. As your boat rounds that bend, you encounter the unexpected twist. Maybe the water gets a little choppy. Maybe there's a large rock sitting right in the middle of the stream, forcing the water to split and swirl. Now, watch what you do in this boat. Do you try to paddle furiously upstream, fighting the current, trying to go back to calm water? That's exhausting, isn't it? Or do you use your paddle just to steer, to guide the boat with the flow? Watch yourself navigating this twist. You aren't fighting the river, you are working with it. You see the rock, the obstacle, the surprise, and you dip your paddle in, gently guiding the boat to the side. The water carries you around it. It might feel a little wobbly. You might get splashed, but you don't sink. You adjust. You shift your weight. You find a new balance. Take a few moments to really feel that sensation of adjusting. It's not about being rigid and unmoving like a stone wall. It's about being fluid, moving with the water. See yourself coming out on the other side of the twist. The water calms down again. The view is different now. Maybe it's not the scenery you expected, but it's still quite beautiful. You are still in the boat. You are still mostly dry. You made it through. Breathe into that feeling of capability. The river has changed, and so did you. Let the image of the river gently fade now, but hold on to that feeling of fluidity and balance. Now let's bring this closer to home. I invite you to travel back in your memory and think back of this past January. Picture yourself then. Maybe you were wearing a winter coat. Maybe you were writing in a journal or talking to a friend. Think about what you expected this year to be. What were your big plans? What did you think was going to happen? Now I ask you, what is one thing that happened this year that you never could have predicted? It doesn't have to be a tragedy. It doesn't have to be a disaster. Maybe it was a sudden change in health, a surprise expense, a change in a relationship, or maybe it was a happy surprise, an unexpected visitor, a new opportunity you didn't see coming. Just find one thing, one twist in your river, and hold that event in your mind. When it first happened, how did you react? Did you stiffen up? Did you try to paddle upstream? That is a very human reaction. We want things to stay the way we imagined them. We want the straight line. But look a little deeper. Did this surprise teach you something about your own resilience or flexibility? Think about the days or weeks after the surprise. You had to adjust. Maybe you had to change your schedule. Maybe you had to ask for help. Maybe you had to let go of an idea you were holding onto tightly. In the process of adapting, did you discover a strength you didn't know you had? Perhaps you found that you were more patient than you thought, or more creative in solving problems. Or maybe you simply learned that you can survive uncertainty. Just like the tree we sometimes visualize, you have weathered storms. You didn't break. You might have lost a few leaves, some old plans, some old expectations, but your trunk, your core remains solid. Sit with that for a moment. And instead of looking at the surprise with regret or frustration, look at it with curiosity. Look at that, you might say. I didn't plan for that, but here I am. I handled it. Give yourself a little credit. We are usually so hard on ourselves. We focus on the wobble, but we forget that we didn't fall over. You navigated the twist. It is possible that emotions will arise as you think about this, perhaps a little sadness or relief, or maybe pride. Just let them be there. Imagine them like those leaves drifting to the ground. You don't have to cling to them, just acknowledge them. There's worry. There's pride. And then come back to the breath, in and out. A final image together to cement this feeling of flexibility. I'd like you to imagine a vast open meadow, and in the center of this meadow stands a beautiful willow tree. Unlike the sturdy oak that stands rigid and tall, the willow is defined by its draping branches, long and slender, reaching almost to the ground. It is a windy day in the meadow. A strong gust comes sweeping across the grass. Watch the willow tree. When the wind hits the solid, rigid things in the meadow, like maybe an old fence post, they shudder and creak. They fight the wind. They resist. But look at the willow. When the wind blows, the willow yields. Its branches stream out with the wind, dancing and flowing. The trunk sways gently, it bends deep, almost touching the earth. It is the very picture of surrender. But because it bends, it does not break. The wind passes, and the willow returns to center. It is unharmed. It used the energy of the wind to dance rather than to snap. Imagine now that you are that willow tree. Feel your spine as the trunk rooted, flexible, alive. Feel your arms and your thoughts as the branches. When the winds of life blow, when the unexpected surprises come, imagine yourself yielding, just like the willow. You don't have to be made of stone. You don't have to be rigid to be strong. True strength is often in the softening, in the bending. Feel that in your body right now. Soften your belly, soften your hands. Soften the space between your eyebrows and tell yourself, I can bend. A few affirmations as we sit in this space of gentle awareness. I am capable of handling the unexpected. Like the river, I flow around obstacles with grace. My flexibility is my strength. I bend, but I do not break. I trust in my ability to adapt. And last, I am resilient even when I am surprised. Let those words settle in. You have proven them true this year. You are here, breathing, sitting, listening. That is proof enough. And now let all this go. Let go of the visualizations, let go of the affirmations, and just sit for a final moment of simple awareness. Let go of the river, let go of the willow, let go of January. Just be here in your chair, a human being breathing. Notice the steady beat of your heart. It has been beating this whole time, adjusting its rhythm to your needs without you ever having to ask. Your body knows how to adapt. It's built into you. We are coming to the end of our time together. As the sound of the bowl fades, it's time to gently bring your awareness back to the room around you. Maybe bringing some gentle movement back to the body. And then when you feel ready at your own pace, slowly opening your eyes back up. Take your time, there's no rush. And as you go about the rest of your day, remember the willow and the river. Remember that when plans change, when the unexpected twist arrives, you have everything you need to navigate it. You've done it before, and you can do it again. Thank you for sharing this practice today. Be well. Namaste.